friends, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a skin slash foundation focused video for you all, which is why I don't have any eyeshadow on. I just have my brows on. A lot of people on my Instagram have been asking me what I have been using on my skin and what my foundation routine has been lately, because apparently my skin is looking good. And I can't disagree. I love how my skin has been looking lately. So without further ado, if you want to see how I get this foundation look, go ahead and continue watching. Okay, y'all, so just bear with me for a little bit. My face I know is really shiny, but that's because I prime and I hydrate my skin with just a lot of moisturizer, and then I also prime with this NYX Hydratouch oil primer. And it's been amazing. I've been loving it. My skin is dehydrated. It's always been dehydrated even since moving down to San Antonio. Even if I drink a lot of water, my skin is always dehydrated. So I like having a little bit more moisture underneath it, and then I'll set and I will use more matte products on top if I need to. So what I've been really loving lately is doing a little concoction. And I always mix foundations, and I don't think I'm ever going to stop. So I've been doing a little concoction of my MAC Next to Nothing face color, and I go back and forth between either my Urban Decay All Nighter foundation or my MAC Pro Longer Waterproof, which is what I just ran out of, so today I'm using my All Nighter foundation. And I'm just going to start by dotting it around my face. The All Nighter foundation is slightly lighter than it needs to be. But I am fading a little bit for this time of year, so just bear with me. I will make it work. But I do like mixing the Next to Nothing with it because it, first of all, adjusts the color a little bit, and then second of all, it gives it some hydration, and that's what I've been liking. And it gives it hydration without it being like overly glowy, overly hydrating. So then I'm also going to take my Studio Finish Concealer in NW55. So today I'm just going to focus on skin, and I have to do this kind of quickly because I'm running late, of course. I am using the Morphe M439 brush. I do a mixture of like pressing as well as buffing into the skin. Pressing to let it build that coverage, and then buffing when I need it to look more natural in certain areas. Okay, so now that everything's blended, let's go ahead and conceal. And I've actually been using a new concealer. I've been mixing, as usual. If you don't want to mix, just stick with one. I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape as my first layer. Then I've been going over that with the NYX Gotcha Covered NYX Gotcha Covered, oh, it's waterproof. It's the NYX Gotcha Covered Concealer. It's a full coverage concealer. More on the creamy side, and it's lighter. I just use a little bit, and I just dot it with my fingers, just closest to my nose. And typically I blend out with a brush, but I've been giving sponges another chance, so I'm going to be using a Real Techniques sponge. I like these the most. I love beauty blenders, but I think this one I'm just more comfortable with. And if I do use a brush, I either use my Real Techniques buffing brush, or I'll use my 128 brush from MAC. I have one that I use for like cream products and one I use for powder products, which you can use one for the same, like one for all the above, but I just like that. I am gonna blend out my chin though first with this buffing brush, just because it's a little bit fluffier in texture, and it will blend it out more, as I will do for my nose. Sometimes I'll do my forehead, but I can just take whatever's left on the brush up there. And the reason why I've been using the sponge for my under eyes is because I've been focusing on rehydrating my under eyes and just parts of my face when I can. I still feel like it shears down the product a little bit though, but it's okay. One other thing I've been trying to do lately that I actually haven't really been loving, so I'm not going to do right now, maybe I'll do a little bit later, is I've been trying to start using loose powders to set my makeup again. I'm just not a baker, and I feel like when I use loose powder and I press it under my eyes with a sponge, it just sucks out way too much moisture, even if I just let it sit there for a few seconds. So I'm just using a brush, and this product is also discontinued, so I'm not even gonna hype it up. It's gonna be, just use any like sheer coverage powder that you want to, or use your loose coverage or a translucent powder. I don't know, whatever you want. This one is the Studio Careblend powder from MAC, and I'm personally really hurt, and I feel really like targeted that they discontinued this one. The most comparable, in my opinion, is going to be the Mineralize powder if you're talking MAC products. If you're not talking MAC products, then I'd have to do some research because I don't know. I just like that because it keeps it nice and bright under the eyes. But you know, you could go in with a loose powder as well. And then once I have my under eyes set, I go and I do some contour. So I'm using the Real Techniques contour brush, which is this one. It's dirty because I actually use my brushes every day and I don't clean them every day. Sorry. And I'm just going to focus on the outer part. And this is the Studio Fix powder in NW58. Usually it's just my summer contour color, but I just love contour and highlight, so it's also now my fall contour color. Just because I like the drama, and sometimes it's not even dramatic enough. On days that I'm feeling extremely bloated. I take a little bit under here, dear hair. You're supposed to be confined. I take whatever's left on the brush and I hit the side of my nose, and then the tip of my nose. And I just blend. So switch brushes. I'm just gonna go to my N9 Studio Fix powder, and I'm gonna blend things out. I'm gonna kind of press it around my mouth, which is where I mostly powder these days. And then blending the forehead out with that contour. I've actually gotten a lot of questions on, like, because I've been posting more Instagram pictures than obviously than YouTube videos. So I've been getting a lot of questions about my skin routine, and this is honestly all that I really do. I feel like I've always used these types of products, but I've been really being more conscious of the steps I've been taking and making sure that I'm priming in a different way. And I'm really focusing more on placement and the type of product I'm putting where. So I think that's why people have been really liking my skin. And so when I get to this point, I decide if I want a little bit more contour, which there's never a point where I'm gonna say no to more contour. So I just you can take any like deeper brown color. So I'm gonna go to my rose gold, what's this called? Snowball palette from MAC. Looks like this. And I'm just gonna use this color right here. On a lot of people it goes very chocolatey brown. On me it actually goes a little bit more gray brown. These are super pigmented. I'm just gonna pop it in the furthest back part. I feel like no matter how much weight I lose, I'm gonna always have a really round face that I'm just not particularly always happy with. So I will always contour. My cheekbones are just not high enough for me to not need to contour. Okay, and then now is where I'll add blush and all that good stuff. So I just always use Raisin, and just for sake of continuity purposes, I'll use Raisin today. I've lately also, though, been trying to use Burnt Pepper, which is more like an orangey tone. And I just use a really big fluffy brush and just kind of sweep it all over my cheeks. And you'll notice that my skin, even though I just used a lot of mattifying products, my skin isn't completely matte, and that's what I've been going for. I want to look almost kind of like velvety, or more, I guess, satin, but everything that I used is very stabilizing. Nothing's going to be moving very much. And even though I use that next to nothing with my Urban Decay foundation, the next to nothing I didn't use enough of that it's going to completely disrupt the long wearing nature of that Urban Decay. If anything, just lended itself to a little bit more moisture and a little bit more of a color clarity that I was going for. And then I'll go back and I'll re-brighten the under eyes. I think that's the only area that I have that's really, really matte. I'll take that, whatever's left on it, on my nose. I'll do a little bit on my chin. And then for days that I really want some drama, I'll pop a little bit under my contour. But that's not really the focus. And before I end this video out, I will go ahead and do my brows because it feels weird ending a video without having my brows on. And yeah, so give me just a minute and I'll also show you my finishing like moisture product touches, okay? Okay, so as far as what I do at the very end of my skin before I go into, either before I go into eyeshadow or at the very, very, very end of everything, I will take my Fix Plus, it's a primer, it's a setting spray, it's a hydrating mist, it's everything. I will say though, if you have oily skin, don't use this as a primer, just use this as a setting spray. Because if you're using it before and after and even during, if you have oily skin, you're gonna find for people that have oily skin, it's gonna be just too hydrating. You're not gonna end up loving the look unless you like really hydrated skin even though you're oily. Just putting that disclaimer out there. So I will just spray this. And I go really big and broad, and I honestly had to spray a ton because I feel like I miss my face most of the time, which is fine. But I'll spray it, and then I'll let it set, and then it gives me a little bit more of that hydration. And honestly, my makeup does not move. Even though I've primed with oil and I super moisturize and I do all this stuff, my makeup doesn't move. I only touch up if I just want more makeup. So I don't need to touch up for the most part, but if I do touch up, it's because I'm like in a different lighting and I'm like, I could use just a little bit more foundation, or I'm feeling like I need like a pick-me-up or something like that, so I'll just put a little bit more powder on, and that's it. Like this is my tried and true now foundation and skin routine. Like I just love what I've been using and I love what it's been doing for me. So yeah, I hope this helps you all. I will list all the products that I use below, and I list like prices, and I can list alternatives if you want to. Like if you are interested in the Studio Careblend powder, I'll put like an alternative to it, or I'll try to research other products that are kind of similar to it for you all. And yes, so expect another video soon. I'm going to be doing a fall inspired makeup look, and then I'm also going to be recording a video of products that I think I'm going to title it shit that everybody else has been using that I'm just now jumping on. So keep an eye out for that video as well, and I will see you all later. Bye friends. So you should watch my other videos and let me know what you think. Bye guys.